Hello and welcome again to Chris's Caribbean Delights. And today we're going to be making some crab cakes, some simple crab cakes, easy recipe. Because I haven't done crab cakes in a little while, even for myself personally. So I'm going to put some crab cakes together and we're going to see how simple and easy this recipe is, and it tastes delicious. So let's go to those ingredients and make some crab cakes. I'm using the jumbo pasteurized crab meat, the jumbo pasteurized crab meat in the can, from the can. So bless you guys who would shred that crab, who cook that crab, that live crab, and shred it. I did it one time, but I'll probably do it again another time. But right now I'm using the canned crab meat. So we have the crab meat. I like to put bell peppers in mine. I have some red bell peppers and some yellow bell peppers or orange bell peppers. I have some garlic, and I have the green part of the green onion, just the green part. And I have some other herbs here, some thyme, just some thyme. I have some lemon zest here, and I have the lemon. I may use a little bit of juice, just maybe a teaspoon or so, because I don't want it to get too liquidy, it wouldn't hold together. Yeah, I'm omitting the white part of the green onions. But first I like to cook my bell peppers because they take a little while. So instead of putting them raw into the crab meat, the crab cakes, I'll give them a little saute in my pan here that's heating up. So as I mentioned before, just use your fingers and go through, and then just to make sure that there are no shells in there or anything, or any kind of hard skin from the shell from the crab. So I did that, and this is fine. So I'm going to put my ingredients together now. We'll put together the first 8 ingredients, and then we'll whisk as we go along, just to incorporate and mix everything in. So into my bowl, I add my eggs. I add the 2 eggs. And I'll give this a little whisk here. Have my eggs. Now I'll put my lemon zest, the zest of 1 lemon in here. Let's get the zest of 1 lemon. So we have the eggs, and then we have the lemon zest, and to that we're going to add the mustard. We're going to put the mustard in here. 1 tablespoon of mustard. Let's add the mayonnaise in there also. Let's get all that mayo in there. Then we're going to just whisk this together. We got that in there. Now, my seasonings that I use. Lots of people use Old Bay. I'm not a favorite of Old Bay. I'm not a friend of Old Bay. So I use my own. I have a tajin here, which has salt in it. I have a half a teaspoon of chicken bullion, and I have my complete seasoning. My complete seasoning, along with the tajin. It's wonderful. It gives it a wonderful flavor, and it enhances everything. So we'll whisk that in. And also, I put garlic in everything, so I have minced garlic there. We have the green onions, the green part of the green onions, because I don't really like the white part in there for crab cakes, I should say. And I have some thyme, some other herbs. Also, dill is a very good herb that you can put in there, but I have no dill. I would have put some dill in there. So just incorporate this also. Get this all mixed in here. Now I have some Parmesan cheese. I have a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. We'll just whisk that in there. Not forgetting the bell peppers I sauteed the bell peppers, and I gave them a little char, so you know they'll have some extra flavor in there. So let's get the bell peppers in there. Just a little bit of bell peppers to give it some color, you know. Incorporate all of that. And then we go in with the panko breadcrumbs. I have a 1/4 cup of panko. I'm going to have to lose the whisk right now because it's getting a little thick. So let's lose the whisk and find a spatula. Happy holidays. So here's my spatula. We're gonna just get that in there. The lemon juice, the liquid here is it's not a lot of liquid, and when the crab cake gets in there, it's gonna take up more of this liquid. So it's safe to put about a teaspoon or 2 teaspoons of lemon juice in there. Normally, I try to evade the lemon juice. I try to leave the lemon juice out because of the liquid content, and you know, because I need my crab cakes to hold together. And the more liquid it has, the less it would hold together. So since I can see it doesn't have, I'll just add just a teaspoon of lemon juice. And remember, I already have the lemon zest in there, so it should be fine. Now for the pied resistance, the lump crab meat. To the lump crab meat, I like the lump crab meat, but this is the jumbo lumps, because I want to, you want to taste some crab, you want to see some crab in there. So that's why I use the jumbo lump crab meat. This is my favorite to use. And I went through it to make sure that there are no shells in there or anything. Went through it with my fingers. So let's incorporate and make sure that that everything is coated, that the lumps are coated. So to make the patties, I'm using a 1/4 cup measure so that I can get them perfectly, a round shape and compact, and it gives me a nice thickness of about 1 inch. You can make it with your hand, you can flatten it, you can make it into a ball, you can do whatever you want to do with it, but it has to hold together. Now, if you find that when you're mixing it, it's not, and you try to put it together and it doesn't stay, you need to add some more breadcrumbs in there. So that's what I had to do. I had to add a little more breadcrumbs just to keep it together. So I pack it in here, and then I just turn it out on my thing, because it's going to go into the freezer for about 20, you can do 20 minutes to an hour. Okay, 20 minutes to an hour. And you can see it comes out, doing it like this with the scoop, it comes out pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rest and see how many I have. Then we'll put it into the freezer so that it can freezing it for about 20 minutes, or you freeze it for about 20 minutes. If you're going to use the refrigerator, you can go to an hour, but I put it in the freezer just 20 minutes, and that does it. Okay, keeps it together. So let's go ahead, get it all finished, and we'll go to the freezer for 20 minutes. Also, if you decide to use the 1/4-inch scoop, the scoop like this, the measuring scoop, in order to get a nice free release of the when you pack it, just put a little non-stick spray in the bottom. Just put a little non-stick spray in the bottom, and then you put the crab cake mixture. You put the mixture in here. Just compact it nicely. Find a good spot, turn it over, just give it a few taps on the bottom, and there you go. You're released. So I think I can put one more here. I have a little more. But you don't want to put them too close together, so you know they're going into the freezer. You don't want them sticking. You want it to. You want the ingredients to stick together, right? But you don't want the crab cakes to stick together, the patties to stick together. Easy release. Okay. So let's get this batch into the freezer for 20 minutes, and then we'll come back. 2 tablespoons of olive oil or canola oil, whatever oil you want, and some butter. And then we'll saute those until they're brown on both sides. It takes maybe about 3 or 4 minutes on each side. So we'll be back. So here we are, guys. I have some. They're just 20 minutes out of the freezer. And they're nice. They're holding together nicely, and everything is it's ready for frying. So I'm going to get heated up a pan with 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil and maybe 1 tablespoon of butter. Butter for some flavor. So let's get that going. Here's my pan. I just put that in there. Just a little piece of butter, and just put some olive oil. Just cover the bottom a little with some olive oil, and we'll let this heat. Once that heated up, we'll be back. Nice and hot, and we'll just place them in our oil gently. You hear that sizzle? And it's going to be 4 minutes on each side for the saute. 4 minutes on each side before you can turn them. 4 minutes on each side, and I flipped it. I'm going to give it another 4 minutes before taking it out. So the first version of my crab cakes came out wonderfully. I sauteed them on the stovetop, and they're nice and crispy on top, and it's cooked through. It took like 4.5 minutes on each side to get to this consistency and browning. And so now I'm going to do some in the air fryer. I have my air fryer preheating to 400 degrees, and I'm going to use my air fryer basket, and we're going to put some crab cakes in there and do the second batch. So here I have 4. I've placed them on the air fryer. I sprayed the basket with some non-stick spray so that they wouldn't stick, and also I'm going to just spray some olive oil on the top, or some melted butter. I should put some melted butter, just paint some melted butter on the top, and so that's to help with the browning. So here I have some melted butter, which I'm just going to brush the crab cakes, the top. Let me just brush the top with some melted butter. And this is going to assist with the browning, with that searing that I'm looking for, the nice brown color. As a matter of fact, I'll do both sides. I'll just flip them over. It's still nice and firm. So I brushed both sides with some melted butter. And let's put them in the air fryer. Air fryer is ready. So here we go. The air fryer is ready at 400. I have it for 11 minutes. So it's going to start cooking down now. After about 5 minutes or so, 6 minutes, we're going to check it to see how it's coming, and then we'll go from there. So after air frying for about 10 minutes, I flip them over. They still have a good way to go because they're still soft. They haven't been cooked properly as yet. But we put it back in the air fryer. Now we put it back for another 10 minutes, and we'll see where we go from there. And so here we go, guys. These are the finished products. Here we have, this one was done seared on the stovetop and then put in the oven. And I found out that this is a little drier than the others. This was done in the air fryer. The air fryer. These are done in the air fryer, and they're nice and moist. They're soft. And this was done totally on the stovetop. Totally on the stovetop, and they're nice and moist, nice and soft. So what I've gathered from this experience here is that if you do it on the stovetop and then put it in the oven, it's going to be a little drier than if you use the air fryer or just the stovetop, and you flip it on both sides for 4 minutes on each side. And if you can just get the sides of get the sides close up to the pan so that you can get some color on the sides if you care to. But once it's done 4 minutes on each side, it's good, and it has that nice char. So let's break into this and give it a taste. Could be served up with a lemon wedge if you care to, just to squeeze on top of, if you care to. This one was done totally on the stovetop, and you see when breaking into it, it's nice and soft and moist. And I have a sauce here. It's not a total remoulade, but it's mayonnaise, ketchup, mayonnaise, and sweet pickles with a little bit of salt and pepper. Yeah, I like my heat, so let's try this. So this is it, the crab cake. This is the one that was done totally on the stovetop. Awesome. You have that nice crunch on the top, and the inside is nice and moist and soft and flavorful. And obviously the lumps of crab meat that you're having there. Awesome. Okay, this next one was done in the air fryer. Lovely. See the lumps of crab meat there. Awesome. Nice and moist. It's more flavorful, I think. It doesn't lose anything. Tasting that crab seriously. You're seriously tasting the crab here. The air fryer. I'd go for the air fryer anytime. Awesome. So once again, guys, like, share, and subscribe. And I'll be coming to you with some wonderful recipes. Bon appetit and happy holidays.